Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a crucial research topic that has far-reaching implications for national security. The risks associated with Chinese investments in Western critical infrastructure. Why is this research topic so important? Well, as countries become increasingly interconnected, foreign investments in critical infrastructure pose potential threats to national security. In this video, we'll explore the significance of this issue and highlight some real-world examples that underscore its importance. Importance of the research topic. The research on Chinese investments in Western critical infrastructure holds paramount importance due to the increasing interconnectedness of nations, raising concerns about potential national security risks. Understanding the vulnerabilities associated with foreign control over vital systems is essential for policymakers to develop robust safeguards and protective measures. In a globalized world where economic and technological dependencies are intertwined, investigating the implications of such investments is crucial to ensure the resilience and security of Western nations. Real-world examples. Before we proceed, let's take a look at some real-world instances that demonstrate the impact of Chinese investments in Western critical infrastructure. From telecommunications to energy grids, these examples shed light on the vulnerabilities that can arise when foreign entities have a significant stake in a nation's vital systems. Let's delve into our first real-world example concerning telecommunications infrastructure. In 2018, concerns arose when Chinese tech giant Huawei secured contracts to build 5G networks in several Western countries. The fear stemmed from the potential exploitation of these networks for espionage, prompting debates on the national security implications of allowing a foreign entity such significant control over critical communication infrastructure. Now, turning our attention to energy grids, a second example illustrates the gravity of the issue. In 2015, the Chinese state-owned firm State Grid Corporation acquired a significant stake in Portugal's power grid. This investment raised alarms about the security of a nation's energy supply, as foreign control over critical energy infrastructure introduced concerns about potential disruptions, emphasizing the need for comprehensive research and analysis in this area. Chapter 1, Introduction. Chapter 1, the introduction, sets the foundation for the research by clearly articulating the research problem, its significance, and providing an overview of the study. This chapter typically includes elements such as research questions, objectives, rationale, and contextual background, guiding readers to understand the scope and importance of the investigation. Research problem. In the first chapter of our research, we'll address the research problem. For instance, a potential research problem could be, how do Chinese investments in Western critical infrastructure pose national security risks? Research significance. Next up is highlighting the significance of our research. For example, the significance could be, understanding these risks is crucial for developing effective policies and safeguards to protect our national interests. Research questions. We'll also formulate research questions. Here are 3 sample questions. How do Chinese investments impact the resilience of Western critical infrastructure? What are the potential economic consequences of foreign control over key infrastructure assets? How can nations mitigate the national security risks associated with foreign investments? Research objectives. Moving on to research objectives, let's consider 3 examples. To analyze the impact of Chinese investments on the security of Western energy grids. To assess the economic implications of foreign control over telecommunications infrastructure. To propose policy recommendations for enhancing national security in the face of foreign investments. Research rationale. Lastly, we'll provide a solid rationale for our research. For instance, this study aims to fill a critical gap in understanding the potential threats posed by foreign investments in Western critical infrastructure, thereby informing policymakers and fostering a more secure national environment. Chapter 2, Literature Review. Now, let's explore the importance of the literature review. In this chapter, we'll delve into existing research and theories related to foreign investments in critical infrastructure. Here are some suitable subtopics and examples for our research. Suitable subtopics. Historical perspectives on foreign investments in critical infrastructure. Economic impacts of foreign control on national infrastructure. National security theories and models. Theories and models. As part of our literature review, we'll discuss theories and models. Some relevant ones include the dependency theory, which explores how nations become vulnerable to external influence, and the security dilemma, which examines the challenges of balancing security concerns with economic interests. Literature gap. And don't forget the literature gap. We'll identify areas where current research falls short, paving the way for our study to make a meaningful contribution. Chapter 3, Methodology. Chapter 3, the methodology, outlines the research design and approach, including details on the chosen conceptual framework, research philosophy, and strategy. It further delves into the recommended data analysis methods, ethical considerations, and acknowledges the limitations and delimitations of the research, providing a comprehensive guide to the study's methodology. Conceptual framework. We'll propose a conceptual framework with 3 independent variables: investment scale, technology transfer, and ownership percentage, influencing a dependent variable, national security risk. Research philosophy. For a research philosophy, we recommend adopting a pragmatic approach, as it allows us to draw on both positivist and interpretivist perspectives. Research approach. The deductive research approach aligns well with our study, enabling us to test existing theories in the context of Chinese investments in Western critical infrastructure. Research strategy. Opting for a case study research strategy will allow us to conduct an in-depth examination of specific instances, providing valuable insights into the national security implications. Research choice. Given the nature of our research, we suggest a mixed methods approach, combining both quantitative and qualitative data to ensure a comprehensive analysis. Data analysis method. As for data analysis, the qualitative data will involve thematic analysis, while quantitative data will be analyzed using statistical tools. For instance, a sample size of 200 infrastructure projects will be analyzed quantitatively. Ethical considerations. Ethical considerations are paramount. For example, ensuring participant confidentiality and obtaining informed consent are crucial ethical practices. One real-world example involves anonymizing sensitive information gathered from key industry players. Limitations and delimitations. Understanding the limitations and delimitations of our research is essential. For instance, our study may be limited by the availability of data and the scope of our chosen case studies. Chapter 4, Data Analysis. Moving on to Chapter 4, where we'll conduct data analysis based on our recommended methodology. Quantitative analysis. If adopting a quantitative approach, we'll use statistical tools like regression analysis to examine the relationship between our independent and dependent variables. A sample size of 200 projects will provide a statistically significant dataset. Qualitative analysis. For qualitative analysis, thematic coding will be employed. A sample size of 20 in-depth interviews with industry experts will offer rich insights into the national security implications. Chapter 5, Conclusion and Recomendations. Conclusion. As we wrap up our research journey, the conclusion chapter is where we bring everything together. We'll summarize our findings, revisit the research questions, and offer insights into the broader implications of our study for national security. Recommendations. Next up, recommendations. This chapter is crucial as it provides actionable steps based on our research. Recommendations may include policy changes, enhanced screening processes, or diplomatic measures to safeguard critical infrastructure. Future research suggestions. And finally, we'll touch upon suggestions for future research. Exploring topics such as the role of emerging technologies in national security or the effectiveness of international collaborations in mitigating risks could pave the way for further inquiry. Thank you for joining us today as we navigated through the key chapters of our research on the national security implications of Chinese investments in Western critical infrastructure. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. Until next time, stay curious,